instead of me sitting in the bedroom, I figured that I would just talk to you guys while I do my oil treatment when it comes to the things I started doing in my 30s. But let's get into the first thing, and that is a high yield savings account. This is something that I wish I would have done sooner if I knew the benefits of it. It took me a while to sign up for a high yield savings account. I want to say I was 29 and a half years old when I signed up, so almost 30, and I'm so happy that I still have one till this day. It's basically your money is sitting in savings and you're making money with your money sitting in there. So that just made so much sense to me, because back in the day I used to have regular banks like Bank of America, Citizens Bank, credit unions, and I used to make like a penny a year. And there was some banks that would charge you to have their bank, like a maintenance fee, a monthly fee, a yearly fee. And I'm just so happy that I have a high yield savings account with a decent bank. Everyone's gonna have their own opinions about banks. I haven't had an issue with Ally whatsoever, so I absolutely love the fact that I learned the benefits of having a high yield savings account. I wish I would have started sooner. Next thing that I wish I would have done earlier is putting others first before myself. So I was a very, very selfish person back in the day. It was becoming a problem. I used to focus on the wrong things. I used to focus more on material items, focus on just things that I didn't need to focus on. I should have focused on the people that were around me, people who I was associating with. So yeah, I learned a valuable lesson with all of that, and I now put people first, especially with, you know, the people that I love. I put them first, and not even just people that I love, but like I'll find myself at the store helping others. Like if I see someone struggling to grab something on a shelf, like I always ask if they need help, and just like not having those selfish qualities that I had when I was younger, because I used to be that kind of person to not want people in my car because I didn't want to waste my gas, or not want people borrowing my clothes because I didn't want them to ruin them. Like I used to be just so selfish with the things that I owned, and I'm so happy that I got over that. Another thing that I'm happy I learned was to prioritize my bills and income compared to me not paying attention to anything. Back in the day, I used to never ever pay attention to my bills. It was a nightmare. My check was gone before I got my check because I never paid attention to where my money was going, what I was spending it on, nothing. And also last summer, I did get scammed. I had like a little Amazon scam situation going on with my bank account, and if I didn't check my bank account, they probably would have taken more money, because they probably would have been like, all right, she didn't notice, so let's take more. But luckily I noticed within a couple hours of them taking money out of my account. It was just a random scammer. So they only took like $70, but I can just imagine like if I was to not notice, the amount of money that they would have taken would have been like significant over time. So now I just prioritize my income, my finances in general. I try to make sure, you know, I know where every dollar is going. I know with the bills and stuff too, like, all right, this is how much rent is. This is how much our phone bill is. If anything gets higher, we need to call and see like what happened. We didn't get a notice. Sorry for the interruption. I actually had a call. But the next thing I want to talk about is reading labels and breaking down what I don't understand. This was a game changer for me, especially when it came to what I was consuming and also putting on my body. So I will say this, I'm not a health nut, nor am I a professional when it comes to the health and fitness lifestyle, but I am trying my best because I know that the things that I was eating before did no justice for me. And with me trying to like lose weight and just feel more energy and get back to myself, I had to break down the things that we were eating. So I looked in back at the packages. I downloaded certain apps to help me read labels and just educate myself. Luckily, the online world is a great platform to figure all that stuff out. I basically did my own research, and this is something that I'm so grateful for, because we finally stopped eating, or we stopped consuming a bunch of processed vegan food. No offense to anyone that does. It was best for us to step away. My face was getting pretty puffy due to the large amount of sodium in the products, and also the gums and the natural flavors. Yeah, there's nothing natural about natural flavors. I know I say that all the time, but it's so true. When you start to break down what's in the food that you're eating and also what you're using when it comes to ingredients with your hair products, your skincare products, you start to make better decisions, not only with your money, but with your health. So that is something that I've learned. And I don't want to go too in depth with this because I don't want to deal with hate comments and being canceled. But there are quite a few products that we do not purchase anymore. I will say our kitchen looks a lot different than what it looked before regarding like what's in the fridge, what's in the freezer, the spices that I'm using, the salt that I use, also the products that I use. For a little example, I'm using non-pore clogging skincare products because I was dealing with a acne issue due to the products that I was using before, which had pore clogging ingredients. I will do a separate video on the skincare and stuff that I'm using that is clean and non-toxic. But yeah, stay tuned for that. I will say less is more for me. So between my hair care routine, my skincare routine, less is definitely more. So less mock meat and more real food, like black lentils has a greater source amount of protein instead of a Beyond Meat burger. And don't get me wrong, we're not perfect, okay? And we're not striving to be like the perfect couple, but we are striving for health, because I know it sounds corny, health is wealth. The older I'm getting, the more I'm realizing that when you're healthy, you can accomplish a lot more, you can do a lot more, and you can be around a lot longer. So we do plan on having a family, and I want to be healthy for the kids that we have and be able to go to soccer practice with them and help them practice whatever they're doing, whether it's cheering, soccer, karate. Just be active with them and show them a healthy, balanced lifestyle. So we are just educating ourselves with the things that we bring into the house and also what we put inside our bodies. Another thing is learning to say no and not feel guilty. I used to feel guilty when it came to presents because I used to be the like gift queen back in the day. I loved giving gifts out. I loved material items. And of course, when I adopted a minimalist lifestyle, I soon realized that material items are just that. They're material items. You can't take them with you when you're gone. They're not there forever. So what's there forever are the memories and experiences. So that's stuff, like if I have the money to give an experience to my mother or my sisters or my partner, then I will do so instead of purchasing a material gift. And for a long time, I felt guilty, and I would never say no to certain gifts or never say no to certain events. And now that I'm this age, I say no a lot more to things I don't feel comfortable with, and I don't feel guilty not giving gifts. I constantly tell my family, please, no gifts, not for birthdays, not for Christmas. We like to experience those type of celebrations with just the family, eating a nice meal, relaxing. And my sisters and my mom, total opposite. They love gifts. They love to give gifts. They love to receive gifts. And that's okay. Everyone's different. And I'm glad that they respect how I am now, because it was tough transitioning into this no gift giving lifestyle. Because at the end of the day, we live in the US, and when living in the States, giving gifts or spending money on pointless items is your typical day here, I would say. Yeah, consumerism is an all-time high in the US, so I'm the opposite now. and I finally don't feel guilty. If someone hands me a gift, I simply say thank you, and that's that. Even if you warn people in advance and you tell them no gifts and they still give you a gift, the best thing you can do instead of feeling guilty is to say thank you. Another thing that I started doing more in my 30s than my 20s, which is to sleep my full 8 hours. I try to have a decent routine when it comes to my sleep schedule. I know this is not going to be the case forever because I do plan on having a child in the far, far future. So I'm just embracing the 8 hours of sleep that I'm getting these days, and I'm very, very happy that I have a routine. I go to bed at 10. I don't browse on my phone anymore like I used to, and I just relax instead of constantly stressing myself out before bed. I try my best to relax and go to sleep on time, get those full 8 hours, and that's about it. Back in the day, I would get like 3 hours of sleep because I was too busy partying or too busy scrolling, and my sleep schedule was horrible because I used to have to be up for work at 6 in the morning, sometimes 5:30 in the morning, and then I would stay there until like 3 to 4 o'clock, and it was a nightmare. So sleep is just as important as eating healthy and exercising. Another thing that I started doing in my 30s that I'm so happy with, and that is to take breaks from social media. I have been doing this job for a long time. I've been doing it since 2017. I've been doing it full time since 2020. And it has taken a toll on my mental health. The amount of negative comments I get due to how I look, the lack of views I get on my videos. Moral of a story, social media is a job for me, so I don't see it as fun anymore. I see it as a clock in, clock out type of thing. So I don't watch YouTubers anymore because I was constantly comparing myself and feeling down. And again, this is what works for me because this is my job. I know some people are like, well, you gotta see what the competition is. I'm not focused on competition. I'm focused on my work and focus on what I'm doing, and that's it, not what everybody else is doing. When I used to focus on the competition to see what other minimalist YouTubers were posting and how they're posting, and I used to just drive myself insane. I was in a very negative rut. So most of you seen how I was, and most of you unsubscribed due to my negativity a couple years ago, or I would say like a year ago. So the best thing that I did for my mental health was to take long breaks from social media. What I do now is I try to stay ahead with my posting schedule. So I try to do 2 to 3 months ahead with my videos. I focus on work, like I said, clock in, clock out. I'm constantly writing down scripts in my notebook. I follow my scripts in all my videos, and when I'm not posting or answering comments, I'm recording videos. If I'm not recording, then I'm exercising at the gym, listening to a podcast, or watching a Hallmark movie, just trying to stay positive and stay off of social media because it can get very, very toxic for myself at least. And the last thing that I started to do in my 30s, and this might sound funny, but it truly does help, and that is to read reviews before purchasing anything. And this has saved me so much money and time. So I read a lot of reviews with the car that I have. I read a lot of reviews around the leave-in conditioner I use, the hair oil I use. I do not purchase anything unless I do thorough research on the products and things that I'm going to buy. Same thing goes for my partner. Like if he's gonna purchase something and he'll ask for my opinion, I go straight to the reviews. And if there's no reviews, I will Google if anyone has purchased this product, and I will just do a deep dive into that product. So there's been quite a few times where I'm like, do not purchase this. Do you see the newest reviews? Like 20 people said this product doesn't last 3 days. And yeah, so I've just saved both of us a ton of money and time when it comes to purchasing a product. Then you have to do a return. You have to package it up, go return it. It's like, no. The best thing you can do is do your research before purchasing anything. Read reviews. It is so important. And I didn't realize how important it was until I made a few mistakes myself back in the day. So I don't do that anymore. Anyways, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry if there's a little bit of echo. Again, we are in my bathroom. I just wanted to switch it up a little bit for this particular video, and I don't know, I want to start doing a little bit different things with the sit-down videos because I know they can get a little bit boring from time to time. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one.